Hello everyone and welcome to the Goon Factory. So today we'll be going through the main talking points of Mikel Arteta's press conference. I've picked out the top 3 and there were definitely some interesting answers he gave. So let's get into it. So it was straight into an injury update and the question was, lots of games coming up, so just wondering how the squad is injury wise and specifically Thomas Partey and Tomiyasu. Are they any closer to coming back? And Mikel Arteta said, no, nothing has changed yet with these two. We're not going to have them available yet, unfortunately. And then we have the suspension of Kai. So I think it's 5 players missing in the squad. So we're a bit short, but the team has been doing well. And we still have a lot of players very willing to play. And the reporter followed that one up with, is there a chance we could see those players before they go away on international duty? Asia Cup for Tomiyasu and Africa Cup of Nations for Partey. And Arteta said, there is a chance, yes, but we'll have to see. They haven't trained with the team yet, so they're still far off that. So what do I make of all that? It sounds to me that they are very close to a comeback. If Arteta's saying there's a chance for them both to play in them cup competitions, let's have a look at the dates. Look, so the Asia Cup starts on January the 12th and the AFCON starts on January the 13th. So they're literally right next to each other. And for them to come back would mean they probably wouldn't play this game, obviously. It'd probably be the game after that. So we could be 1 week away or 4 days away from a Partey or Tomiyasu return. And that would be massive for Arsenal. We're obviously going to miss them for a bit of time when they do go to them cup competitions. But to have them back available even for one game and then they go to the competition and that competition can basically act as they're sort of weaning back into the team. So they'll be going there, they'll be playing lots of football. And then by the time they come back, they're going to be fully up to speed and they can slot straight back into the starting 11, of which I think they both enter. I think Tomiyasu comes straight back in for Zinchenko. Tomiyasu, as we've said before, he's having some of the best football being played from himself since he's been at the club. So he will slot straight back into that left back position for a Zinchenko, who in my opinion is struggling at the minute. He's making far too many mistakes. He's being far too comfortable in possession, keeps losing the ball, keeps inviting dangerous attacks from opposition teams. So to have Tomiyasu in that back line, a big, strong, fast, quick, reliable player, I think that's going to help Arsenal massively. And Partey, we already know what he's going to offer. He will slot back into that number 6 position, which will allow Declan Rice to play the number 8, which will allow him to get further forward, knowing that we have the defensive stability of Thomas Partey behind him. Having these two players back on their own will transform Arsenal massively. I have no doubt about that. People have been saying Arsenal are not quite at the level they was last season. And I think a massive reason for that is because Tomiyasu and Partey have been out. That mixed with the fact that we have players making mistakes. We have obviously David Raya making mistakes at the back. We have Zinchenko making mistakes at the back. And then we have a midfield that's not quite as stable as it was last season. We obviously had Saka, Partey and Odegaard. And this year we've got Declan Rice, which in my opinion now is an upgrade on Partey. Havertz, who's not an upgrade on Saka, offers different things, maybe slightly better in the opposition box, but in terms of defensive work and even strength in the middle of the park, he doesn't compare to Saka whatsoever. So I think we've lost a bit in the middle of the park there. So having Partey back and having Partey, Rice and Odegaard in that midfield area would be massive. So the next question was a good one, and it was talking about the title challenge. How important is January going to be in terms of the transfer window? Any business done, how important will it be to get it done and get it done early so you're in the best position possible? And Arteta said that's a different matter. We're just focusing on the game tomorrow, the importance of that one, the importance of Fulham, the importance of the FA Cup, and then we'll have a little break there to think, assess the options we have and how we can be better. So that seems to me like Arteta there is being open to the possibility that maybe we need to strengthen, and I think that's definitely a good idea. Because if you look at other teams around us, it's clear that other teams are going to strengthen. You see teams now having various injury problems, loads of players out missing, teams are dropping off. So I think there's going to be a lot of movement in this January transfer window. Now that will push the prices up for certain players. But Arteta has said that they will identify their transfer targets and try and make a move for them ones. So I think there's definitely things that can be done in the January transfer window. I think a lot of it may depend on outgoings as well. We know we're very close to the FFP line. We've heard it. We've read it in articles. So as long as we can get rid of some of our players, you know, maybe the fringe players. You're thinking of Nketiah. That's one that's been thrown about quite a lot. If we can get rid of Nketiah, we may go ahead for another attacking options. So as long as we can get outgoings done in January, there's no reason why we can't get any incomings coming in. So the last one was, Mikel, you said how your squad's quite tight at the moment. Looking ahead to January, do you feel in a position where you can't afford to let anyone go? And he answered, Well, at the moment, it's very difficult. We are really short. We have positions that we've been very exposed for in the past 6 weeks. And hopefully we're going to get players back. In what condition and when, that's a question mark as well, because we have some long-term injuries for certain players that gives us a lot of versatility. And I think he's obviously talking about Partey and Timber. And that one there is massive. When Jurriën Timber comes back, I really think you're going to see a different Arsenal team. This is a player who is highly regarded across all of Europe. The things this player can do, he's obviously only a small player, but in terms of speed and what he can do with the ball for a defender, we don't really have anyone like that across the back line. We've obviously got good ball-playing defenders in Saliba, Gabriel and Ben White. They're all handy on the ball. Tomiyasu as well, to be fair, all very good on the ball. But Jurriën Timber, he is like a midfielder who plays defence, who's got the strength, who's got the speed, who knows how to read a game really well. So I think this player is going to be the player that pushes Arsenal up to that next level, that allows Arsenal to change up to that next gear. And yes, we do have a little bit longer to wait, but I can't wait for it to happen. And it's not too far away now. So, finally, let's get into the title race. So, Liverpool are obviously first. They've overtaken us. They beat Burnley 2-0. And their next 3 games are Newcastle, Bournemouth and Chelsea. So, you've got a couple of difficult games there. Newcastle obviously aren't the same team they have been in previous months. They got Bournemouth. You expect that to be fairly easy. Chelsea, I mean, they're not playing very well at the minute. I guess you can never count Chelsea out. They still are a good team with decent players and a decent enough manager, even though he's not performing at the minute. So it'll be interesting to see how Liverpool get on them 3 games. Man City, they obviously just won 3-1 at Everton. They've still got a game in hand, but their next 3 games are Sheffield United, Newcastle and Burnley. Again, 2 easy games there, and then Newcastle depending on how they turn up. And it's just a matter, I think, with this City team of just waiting for them to really click, because we know they can go on a 10-20 game winning streak. But it's just not happened for them this season. So maybe this will be the sort of start of that run. We shall see. Aston Villa, they obviously lost to United 3-2, but they still are there or thereabouts in the title race. Their next 3 games are Burnley, Everton and Newcastle. So our 3 main title rivals at the minute have all got Newcastle to play, and then a couple of fairly easier games, but even Everton away I think Villa have got. That's never a guaranteed. So that will be an interesting one to see how that goes as well. And then for Arsenal, we've obviously got West Ham tonight, then we've got Fulham, then we've got Palace. These are all winnable games, and that's 3 fixtures there I think we can expect to take 9 points from. I'd love to know your thoughts, so let me know your thoughts on everything you've heard in this video. What do you think of the January transfer window? Who would you be looking to bring in? What do you think of tonight's game? I'm going for a 2-0 win for Arsenal. Let me know what you're going for. Thanks so much to everyone for watching and listening. If you could, just before you go, hit the like and subscribe button. And I'll speak to you all in tomorrow's video. Gooners, have a good day.